This episode is powered and sponsored by Fortway Media. Whether it's a special event, your wedding day, or maybe a small business looking to make an advertisement or commercial, Fortway Media is the obvious choice. They turn everyday life into a cinematic experience. When you want to capture those special moments, look no further. Stop what you're doing. Check out fortwaymedia.com, book an appointment today, and don't miss out on another chance to get what you want in front of the big screen. Whether it is expert videography or photography, Fortway Media can match exactly what you're looking for. Fortway Media is known for helping out small businesses and everyone reach their dreams. Sign up today.
Scene 69.
Nice.
We've waited a long time for this.
This is actually the last episode. We made it.
We don't go to 100. We did this whole no half stars. We end with 69 episodes.
And what a dream come true, honestly. I've never done 69 of anything. So the fact that we got to this is fantastic.
Glad we could do that together.
Wouldn't get to 69 with anyone else but you, pal. So let's get it done.
Welcome to Take 3.
Take 69.
Yeah. Scene 69. Welcome to Take 303, powered by Fortway Media, the podcast with the guy who knows a lot about film.
And his friend.
I'm Nick Molinari.
I'm J.P. Brooks. We're talking everything film and television, and today we are talking about Fall Guy.
But first, in cinematic news.
69!
Kristen Stewart is starring in a new vampire movie with Oscar Isaac.
Who is Kristen Stewart?
That's the girl from Twilight.
Oh, she's still around?
Yeah, she's coming back to her roots. That's why everyone's freaking out about it.
A vampire movie with Oscar Isaac. Who's Oscar Isaac?
X-Men Apocalypse. He played Apocalypse.
Didn't watch.
In Ex Machina.
I'm just gonna. Ex Machina.
And
yeah.
Drive.
Yeah. Okay, I know. Oh, he's the husband in Drive.
Yeah.
That guy's good.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
He's in so much that it's like I just like spaced out like what has Oscar Isaac been in? Mike Flanagan. You know Mike Flanagan?
I don't know Mike Flanagan.
I
think you forget. The guy who knows a lot about film and his friend.
All right. Mike Flanagan, he's the guy that did Hill House and a couple other TV shows on Netflix.
Okay.
Very big in the horror universe. And he is the new director of Exorcist Deceiver.
Don't tell me that's the follow-up to Believer.
It is.
Okay.
I am really not happy about these titles.
No, I'm not either.
Bernard Hill, the guy that played King Theoden in Lord of the Rings, just passed away.
Oh. Wow, brought some Lord of the Rings news after
I know.
2 episodes of reference. Wow. All right. That's sad to hear.
And speaking of things that are sad to hear, there's a new documentary that's coming out about Kevin Spacey and all of his actions in the last couple of years. It's called Spacey Unmasked, which also is not really a great title.
Not a good title.
They really got to get us in the title room. And he says, quote, in defense of himself, "I've been promiscuous, flirty, and definitely persistent." That is not at all how you defend yourself. You can laugh now.
Oh, man, what a ball. What? Sir, you've been accused of sexually harassment. How do you plead? I plead I've been flirty. I've been good looking. I've been persistent.
I mean, do you remember when he defended himself from the initial...
Yeah.
If I did it, I don't remember it?
Yeah.
Who says that? Stop talking.
Yeah.
Anyways,
else?
No, let's talk about Fall Guy.
Thank God.
Today we're talking about David Leitch's The Fall Guy, starring Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Hannah Waddingham, Teresa Palmer, Stephanie Hsu, and Winston Duke.
The Fall Guy follows Ryan Gosling's character Colt, a stunt man for a pretentious actor. And one day on set, while setting up for a stunt, something goes horribly wrong. He's put in an accident and presumably ending his career. We find him a couple of years later when he's called back to be a stuntman again, where he sees Emily Blunt's character, Jodie, finally making her way on the directorial screen. He knew her before the accident, and we find out that the guy he's been a stunt double for has gone missing. He gets twisted in an adventure trying to find him and learns that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes.
I've been hyped about this movie for a while, but I hear that hasn't been the same for you.
I have not been excited for this movie. I was neutral because I didn't watch any of the trailers or anything like that. I had just seen some stuff on the train and other stuff. I was talking to Krista this morning, Said I was going to see The Fall Guy. She wasn't interested. I said I had Ryan Gosling. She immediately had some interest in it. And so we decided to watch the trailer together. I'm very careful in that wording. Obviously, there was an argument about that, but we watched the trailer. And after we watched the trailer, she was interested in it. I was not. They really focus on the love part in the trailer, and I just wasn't excited for that.
Yeah, they really put the comedy at the forefront for that too also.
Yeah, and it didn't hit necessarily in the trailer.
It almost felt like a spoof in the trailer, and then in the movie it was like, oh wow, this is actually like a really like, you know, serious play at this.
Yeah, so it was definitely, the movie was definitely better than the trailer. They hit a lot of stuff. They did not give away everything. As long as the movie's good, who cares what the trailer was like? So happy.
And what a fitting thing that Ryan Gosling is in the 69th movie that we cover. 69th episode. No
surprise there. If you're new to the listening, if you would know that there's an episode called The Broskers, and we gave Best Nipple to Ryan Gosling appropriately. It's a great episode, The Broskers. Go take a listen. But yeah, very honored that Ryan Gosling, who's just, you know, held in high regard on this podcast, of course, among many, I'm sure, is on the 69th episode. Very happy.
This has actually been my screensaver for quite a while.
So, Nick, what are we thinking about this movie?
Yeah, as a film person, you said this when we were leaving the theater. This is like a wet dream for like filmmakers. There's so many jokes that went over the audience's head that I understood. It's like you know when you walk across a set, what do you have to say when you're traveling with something that could injure somebody?
There's probably a word for this.
Yeah, I taught it to you.
This is bad. Okay. I'm failing.
Well, okay, wait.
It's not the dead cat, is it?
No.
Dead cat. Hold on. Safety.
All right, let me situate you here.
Sure.
What do you say when you turn on a light?
Striking.
Okay. Now, what happens when you walk around with something that is sharp or could injure somebody?
Danger.
No.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Strike. Hey, I'm walking over here. Walking. Dangerous. Clear the room.
No.
What would you say?
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Points.
Points.
What
the fuck would I say points for?
Because the idea is that it's pointy and it could, you know.
Points! That sounds...
Yeah. I remember...
How about I get the fuck out of the way?
I remember in college when we first learned all these terms, and you remember my crew from college.
Yeah, I do.
We abused that word so much. We would walk across the classroom with a pencil and be like, points!
Yeah. That's actually always a good sign. If you're teaching someone something and they know how to make fun of it, that's actually, you taught it well.
Yeah, because you'll never forget it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hand off a piece of equipment, especially camera equipment, you're supposed to say "got." The person that is receiving is supposed to say "got it," so that way you know you can let go. But the AD during the fire burning sequence, he walks across set to deliver the microphone, and I don't know if you remember what he yelled out.
No, I don't. He yelled out something though.
Traveling.
Traveling
is what you say when you walk across a set, and it's unnecessary. Everyone can see that you're traveling.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a thing, so that way other crew members, in case anything is moving
they're not
around,
looking.
Yeah, that somebody is traveling across a set, especially when stunts are involved.
Well, I like communication. I think that's great that they have words for everything.
And we're filming a movie in 2 weeks, so we're
going to be using
traveling.
If I'm going to grab a drink, traveling
points.
I like adding words to my vocabulary on the film set to make to give people the impression and the disguise that
frame line.
So good.
For those listening, we shot a short film last year, and J.P. was our sound guy, and he had never done sound before, right?
Flirted with it, held some equipment, never touched it. Yeah, no.
When you're the boom operator specifically, you're supposed to ask the camera person for a frame line. However, I never taught this to JP. First shot of the day, we're about to go in for a take. The slate is about to be slating, and he looks me dead in the eyes and he's like, "What's my frame line?" I'm like, "Who taught you this? Where are you getting this from?" He's like, "I need to know my frame line so I can know how far I can put the mic in." I'm like, "What?" But yeah, when it comes to jobs, he learns his vocab.
Gotta learn vocabulary. You have to make the people close to you can know you know absolutely nothing. The people who are showing up meeting for the first time need to believe you know what you're doing, and that's what I try to do.
We kind of sidetracked, but
Sure.
Basically, this movie is very much involved in the behind the scenes of filmmaking, and it's kind of the perfect movie for us to watch right before we make one. It's just everything that we're going to be doing, and it's so true to the lifestyle, so accurate. I like the little Easter eggs all over the place. I don't know if you saw, but 87 North, I think it is. They have that logo a couple places in the movie. That's the actual company, the stunt team that did the movie, and they put that in the movie themselves. So, you know, little things here and there. So I like that from a, you know, filmmaker's perspective.
Yeah, and as someone who's only, you know, dipped in very few film sets or worked in it, obviously I would probably know a little bit more than the average person. Mm-hmm. So I definitely got more. I probably got some more jokes. But if you're not a cinephile, if you're not someone who's totally into movies, you're gonna miss a lot here. It's not gonna ruin the movie for you. That's the good news.
Even like the opening sequence when Ryan Gosling's character is talking about stunt men in movies, and they show clips from other movies, and I was wondering when other people are gonna, you know, understand that these are from actual movies, because I see like Jason Bourne, yep. And then the one that I nodded to you, Nobody, and now that I've seen that movie, I can actually like, oh, that's Nobody.
Put some respect on my name. All right. Movie about stunts was the movie I suggested. Yeah. And it really is, this feels like a thank you letter, a love letter to stunt men and women, the stunt teams that, in a way, I was thinking about this. They really are kind of, in the movie world, like the first responders of the movie set. Because, like, obviously in the real world, cops, firefighters, EMTs, the first responders, nurses, doctors, the people who get on the scene and like really take the most risk in their job. In the movie world, that's the stunt team.
You know, there's a lot of safety regulations that happen and safety checks to make sure everything goes, you know, swimmingly. But there are situations where people have gotten like really hurt or even died on set. If you remember Triple X with Vin Diesel, absolute masterpiece of cinema.
Oh yeah.
The ending sequence when he's on the boat and he has to sink it so that way the missiles go under the water. It was practical, and when the boat dipped, the actor died, the stuntman.
That's unfortunate, and yeah, it's the risk you take, part of the job, just like anybody who works, fireman, police officer, part of the job, part of the risk. And I know, yeah, a lot of great scenes in movies, especially, you know, we live in the world of visual effects now, which this movie is kind of like poking fun at, or at least, you know, pointing at. And so I like this constant. It's a good question, because if you can just visual effect it and CGI it, you know, then people aren't taking unnecessary risks. Yet at the same time, if you don't actually do it, does it lose a little bit of the art form, a little bit of the magic? So it's a good question. And I'm really glad this movie addressed it. And I'm really glad at the end, I thought they would do it. They showed all the stunt men and women at the end. They showed clips of the stunts that were done for the movie The Fall Guy. So I'm really glad they did that. And the stunt team were like the first people in the credits.
Yeah, it reminded me of like the old Jackie Chan movies where they show like him doing the stunts. And one of the craziest stunt women stories that I've heard was from Resident Evil 7.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what happened to her?
No. For Mila Jokovich's?
Yes, stunt woman, yeah. Among many other injuries, she was injured in a motorcycle crash that resulted in her arm being amputated and placed in a medically induced coma.
What?
For Resident Evil 7. That's the kind of danger that they put themselves in, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how many safety precautions you do. You know, you can do all the safety checks in the world. Accidents happen. And that song they used at the end, I think, really encaptures it. The unknown stunt man and woman that puts their body at risk, their lives on the line, so you can feel something in your heart. Yeah. What a good song.
Yeah. I think it's, you know, the perfect start to the summer blockbuster movies, and very much a popcorn flick.
Yeah. For the past week, I haven't really had to wear a hoodie or a sweatshirt or anything. Unfortunately, today it's not. But yeah, I said when we got out, this feels like the beginning of the summer flicks. And what a great one to kick it off. We're getting the redemption arc is coming after the first 3-4 months of dog shit.
It felt very much like The Nice Guys.
Yeah, cleaner Nice Guys.
Yeah, because Nice Guys was very gritty, neo-noir. This one still had that mystery element where it was kind of like, you know, the crisscross and all that stuff. And it just felt like the same kind of vibe that I was getting from that type of Gosling, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and besides like all the dangerous parts, this feels very family friendly. There were no over sexualized scenes, not too much blood and gore. He gets beat up, but you don't see like anything. I'm actually kind of glad for a change. Like, I'm not getting the over the top blood, over the top sex. Like, it was a nice film.
Yeah, and there's a good amount of stakes in it. It's not overboard with the comedy like the trailer makes it look like, where you know, people do get hurt, and he really wants to beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, that's funny at the end. Yeah. I also like that there's like a serious element of him being scared to go back to doing stunts. The injury is serious. It has a big effect on his life. So you instantly feel for this character. They do a really good job of making you like everybody from the start. And I think there's this real question of he really has a choice of whether to get back into like what kind of life does he want to have. You know, if you're going to make a movie about stunts and the people behind it, you're going to have good action sequences. And I thought they were great.
Yeah. The director, we saw them thank us personally at the beginning of the movie for going to the movies.
Yeah.
He said that he was a stunt person. He was with the stunt performer that worked with Keanu Reeves on John Wick.
Oh, wow.
And they did John Wick together. They did Deadpool 2, Hobbs and Shaw, and Bullet Train.
Pretty big action movie. Like, recognizable action movies names in the last decade for sure.
But also very much movies that, even though like, I was surprised at the end credits how many of the scenes were green screened, because a lot of it did look very like in-house practical. But a lot of the stunts themselves are practical, and they use stuntmen. These are all movies that play up that physicality.
If you can just visually green screen it, and you don't, you know, you can do all the visual effects for it, you know, do these people have to take risks? I think it's a very interesting question to ask. Like, how much is too far? How far is too far? Accidents can happen. Yet at the same time, I think we all understand and respect the art form of when somebody actually does it. I mean, I'll ask you, you're the filmmaker. Does it come out better? Like, you know, like, doing it's cool, right? Doing the thing is just cool. I get that. But, you know.
I've seen some VFX shots that look really good, and then I've seen ones that don't. So it really depends on the movie, the budget, and what they're actually CGIing. The go-to is definitely doing it live. That's always going to look better. And then also for us on this level, it's just easier, because to do what they do on that level, it takes like a full team of CGI people to like get the lighting right, the CGI and all that stuff, the colors. So to do everything practically is the best for us right now. And I think it will always look the best until CG gets to the point where you can't recognize the difference between reality and that stuff. And that's another topic that they talk upon in this movie, is something that's very topical with the strike that happened just a couple of months ago about using AI on faces and deep faking and all that stuff.
Like, this movie feels like the promotion or the defense of, we need stunt people. Like, it's important. I mean, technically, could you teach anybody how to do anything with programming and computers? Probably. There's like but the physical demands of stunt work and all that other stuff, you know, there's talent in all those people behind the scenes. Not trying to downplay it, because, you know, animated movies are great. You need those kinds of people for sure. This question, I think, is going to come up more and more as time progresses on.
Like if we look at the fight scenes from Roadhouse.
Yeah.
How I don't know if CGI was involved in that, but it felt like it was. And if that's how fight scenes are going to be, then they're not going to look great.
Yeah, and then I don't want them. I'm with you.
Yeah, these obviously looked just phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think there is something true about, like, and I know we're talking, and that's why I like this movie. Like, it brings up these topics and these conversations. So as funny as this movie was and enjoyable as it was, it's good to talk about it. The only last thing I'm going to say is, if you're going to do that with the punching and like it doesn't look real, then move it aside. I don't want it. Give me the real people doing the real things.
How do you feel about the actors? Because I think the cast was just a really good, well-crafted group of people.
Yeah, everyone's good. I really hate, what's her name? Gilla?
The producer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever her name is. I hated her.
I think we're supposed to hate her.
Yeah, she does a great job, so she does what she's supposed to do. I really hate her. I'm on Team Gosling the whole way. I just don't like Emily Blunt as a actress. She does a great job here. Have to give it to her.
What?
I don't like Emily Blunt.
Why not? What has she done to you?
I think the nail in the coffin was that last... Oh, it's so forgettable. It was in Nebraskers. We gave it to him. It's about the...
Oh, Pain Hustlers?
Pain Hustlers. That just put the icing on the cake for me.
But, like, that's one movie. Like, it doesn't define her.
I hated her. I'll keep going.
Did you see A Quiet Place?
Yeah, I didn't like her in that.
Wow. That's crazy.
Again, one of those actors that I just don't click with her. I just don't like, but I thought she was great in this. So props to Emily Blunt. Put my biases aside.
What about Edge of Tomorrow?
I didn't like her in that either. I just don't like her. I don't like how upset she looks. And every time she's upset, it just feels like she's always upset in every movie I see her in. And I'm just like, can you just smile? And when she does smile, it doesn't feel genuine. In this one, it felt genuine.
In her defense, a lot of her movies are very serious. So
yeah, I just don't like her as a serious.
She has a lot to be upset about.
Yeah, I don't enjoy her. Her upset face bothers me. It's RBF. It might just be resting bitch face. Like her resting bitch face is perfect, I think. I don't know.
Like she was good in Looper.
Yes, she was the only part of the movie I didn't like, and I enjoyed Looper.
What about Sicario?
I've never seen Sicario.
That's a good one.
I've heard.
Oppenheimer?
I don't like her. I hated her in Oppenheimer. Oh my god.
How did this skate past us?
I try not to talk about it. I really did.
I gotta look back at the Oppenheimer episode and see if you said, like, I hate Emily Blunt.
I definitely didn't. I try to not tell people because they get upset. And I get it. She's a good actress. If I ever saw her in person, I'd be like, you're great. I just don't like you when you're on the screen. But I think I really liked her in this. So I
was very, the scene that I liked the most from her, I think you could probably guess, is when she just, like, beats the shit out of the because I did not expect that just out of nowhere, and the choreography was just so good.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I'm very happy we went to see this. I think I really like. Actually, I normally don't like these scenes. I don't think anybody does. The big bad guy, like the bad guy reveal, when Gosling finds out that it was him that screwed it up. I actually didn't see that coming at all. Did you?
No, I just assumed it was like, yeah, it was a mistake,
just an accident. Yeah, and like it all made sense and. I really enjoyed that scene because that whole fight, actually, I can't believe an action scene is what I enjoyed. That action scene where they're coming with the guns, he's got the blanks. It's really great. But when he reveals that, there was something about Gosling's face about like real hatred, like real anger. And I was really pulled in at that moment. So I really enjoyed that. What about you?
I'm a big action person, so I love the whole car chase and anything with the dog.
Yeah. Dog's probably the best character here. Yeah.
Is anything not working for you in this movie?
Some of the visual effects actually annoyed me, like the scraping on the car. When things were scraping on the ground going fast, I just hated it. I just didn't like the lighting. I don't know what to tell you. I'll find there are just some
That is the most
nitpicky. Yeah, I know.
Like so close. Like it's like, oh no, I didn't like the pacing. No, I didn't like the lighting in that one scene.
Here's some more things I don't like about movies.
Okay, yeah.
You see this tow truck dragging a man as he's holding on, and traffic just moves. Oh my god! I've always hated that.
In New York, that could happen.
Yeah, we're in Australia. Unless, I'm having a bit of a day.
He wants people to be like, crikey, like what's going on here? Yeah.
Look at that sucker over there. He's hanging off a tow truck. Oh, better slow down.
Yeah, there are the logistical issues there that you kind of just forgive because it's like an action movie.
I'm always looking at not at what's happening. I'm like, what are other people doing watching this? I'm always thinking, what's the guy who's like planting his garden watching a pickup truck fly over? Like, what's your thoughts on this?
Like even when he's running away from the bullets being shot, he had other options.
Yeah, he definitely had other options.
How easy it was to climb into Aaron Taylor Johnson's apartment.
But, you forgive it. I think this movie does a great job of sucking people in. And it's not, when I say sucking people in, pulling people in. You're not being suckered here. It's a good movie. You're going to laugh. You're going to have a good time. But I think the ending was worth it. So, got to give him props.
I have one nitpick.
Sure.
I feel like it was just a little bit too quippy at certain points, where I feel like there was maybe like 2 or 3 more lines than it needed to be in specific scenes. But otherwise, I felt like they were great. And a lot of the pop culture references are really great. Like, I'm surprised we didn't blast All Too Well on the way here.
Yeah. The Memento reference was great. Really enjoyed that. I think before we worked on our like first set together, we were talking about movies like before we worked together, you need to watch Memento. I'm like, okay, I'll go watch Memento.
I said that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's such a pretentious thing for me to say.
Yeah, I know it's well, you know.
Yeah.
I'm here to check that. Okay. But it was a good movie, so I get why you told me to watch it.
Yeah.
Just, a guy in film school would be like, Joe, you're not getting it.
If I'm thinking if that's like right before Killer, then that's probably right when I saw Memento for the first time. So I think that's why it was in the noggin.
I guess it wasn't our first set, but it was the first major one. So don't want to discredit Boats.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was just about to bring up Boats because it's been showing up on my Facebook timeline a lot lately. It is about 10 years and 1 month since we filmed it. We've shot it in April 2014.
That feels like an eternity ago.
10 full years. And we actually did have a mishap on that set where Justin got smacked by his brother.
Actually got clocked. So funny. I remember that phone call because I wasn't there for that particular guy. Like, Joe, everything's fine. I was good. We just finished. But one of the guys got hit. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
I just remember the very next day we had to go to class with the teacher. So we had to tell him like how the shoot went. And all I remember is Justin and I were late to class that day. We came in like 5 minutes late because we asked one of our friends if she could bring some more makeup to hide his black eye. Not that we had to, but we just felt like we needed to.
Yeah.
The makeup was not a thing. It wasn't working. I forget what nationality she was, but in her culture... There was a thing with a lemon, so she put a lemon on his eye to bring down the swelling or something like that. So we walk in like 5 minutes late, and we sit down in the front row because it's an auditorium seating kind of thing. And I'm sitting with like my hand like this over my face.
Yeah. Because
Justin's right next to me, and he's just wearing sunglasses to hide the black eye.
Oh, man.
And he goes, Nick, how was the shoot yesterday? The professor. And I'm like, well, we had our ups and downs.
Couple highs, couple lows.
One particular upper jab. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? And that just speaks to this movie, because if you've worked on film sets before or have any involvement in film, you're going to love this movie. Yeah.
Final thoughts and ratings?
I'll go first. I'll gladly go first for this one.
Wow. Lots of surprises today.
Lots of surprises. The Fall Guy. What looks like your typical average summer blockbuster, and it is, but it's a lot better than that. And there's comedy in it, and you will laugh. The writing's pretty good. Casting is done perfectly. When you think about going to the movies and a nice summer day on the weekend, taking the family out, and a movie you can talk about, make jokes about, laugh about afterwards, then this is the perfect one. What a great way to start. Hopefully, if it's not, I'm considering it. It's the start to the summer 2024 season. Especially, I think this will be the last episode. Say we've finally gotten through the crap. It feels like we're starting to really... 3 out of the 4 weeks or 2 out of the 3 weeks we did, good movies. This is one of them. Just for everything that happened, it might feel like a typical movie. I kind of want to say you've seen this before and you haven't seen this before. I really don't have any issues with this movie. I think it's excellently paced. I would probably make it a little shorter because that's what I think of every movie. I'm actually just going to give it a 5. I really had a good time.
I think it really just met all of my expectations. This is just a really fun movie. The comedy works really well. The cast works very well together. They're not just throwaway one-dimensional characters. Have like a good mystery. Lots of surprises. Lots of fun Easter eggs, especially if you're in the film industry. Also, if you've seen other movies from this year, which is insane, there's one joke that is just so
we can't spoil
so
it.
good. I'm not even going to tell you what movie it is. If you've been going to the movies, this year, which again, it came out this year.
So good.
I guess I could see how they could figure that out, but yeah, for that joke alone, I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 5.
Yeah. And the trailer, like, all right, yeah. Little teaser for him.
Yeah. So, but basically, the idea is go see Fall Guy, the Fall Guy.
This has been another episode of Take 303. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to follow us at Take.303 and Fortway_Media on Instagram. Hopefully going to YouTube soon. Check us out there. We'll tell you about it when we are. This week's poll question of the week is, which summer blockbuster are you looking forward to seeing? And this week's question of the week is, what is your favorite stunt in all of cinema? Is there a particular stunt and action sequence? I know for me, I've already told Nick, I think the best action sequence of all time in any movie is the nobody bus fight scene.
Rumble in the Bronx would have been my childhood one, but lately Tom Cruise has been killing it. Probably when he was like hanging off the plane that was like taking off.
That was real. He like actually, he's insane. Shout out to the stunt teams that make it all happen if they don't. And catch us next time when we watch.
We will figure that out. We are 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're filming a movie in 2 weeks, so we did like 4 episodes all together. We don't know what's coming out next. We won't be filming for like 3 weeks.
As we film a very can I say the name?
Yeah.
As we film Remember Life.
And we have a couple surprises when we do come back, because you mentioned YouTube, and we also have some other little things to add on to that.
Yeah, we got lots of things coming up. As much shit as we talk about other movies, hopefully we don't make a shitty one. So,
hey, our last one got 2 film festival entries.
Both in the basement. Yeah. But anyway, catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.